Varric. Let's see if he's... I know, dude, I don't... You were there at the beginning, you helped us, you got us this far. I don't know anything against you, don't worry, man. Like he's one where I don't really know. Because he was in 2, I felt like he was ambiguous and just, he was a storyteller. He was a storyteller, but I don't know if there's something deeper to him. I don't know. He would be the one in this group so far. There's probably as well. I'll point them out.
That got a little heated. You all right?
Whoa,
Well,
why did his eyes
that
just go
depends.
across? Jesus, Murphy.
How angry is Cassandra? I wasn't trying
like
to
a
keep
maniac.
secrets. I told the Inquisition everything that seemed important at the time.
You could have told us about Corypheus sooner.
I found out he was involved at exactly the same time you did. Until he showed up at Haven, I thought he was dead. Nothing we saw at the summit made me think he'd been there. I know I need to do better.
It's fair enough,
I'm
man.
sorry.
Talk to him again.
Corypheus is
Nice
back.
thing.
Oh, shit.
You said he was a Darkspawn or a Magister. What is he really?
I'm not
Oh.
sure. I don't think Corypheus
Sort of.
really knows either. He's definitely a Darkspawn, but when we found him, it was pretty obvious he hadn't heard that. He thinks he's a Magister, a priest of Dumat, in fact. He says he broke into the Golden City, like in the Chantry tale.
If you and Hawk defeated him once, we can do it again.
We didn't just think Corypheus was dead. He was dead. No pulse, no breath, full
Maybe
of
all
stab
7
wounds.
could be out
There
there, you
wasn't
know.
a lot of room for doubt. It makes me wonder. I thought the Wardens imprisoned Corypheus to use him. Maybe they did it because he can't be killed.
How did you and Hawk even wind up in a Grey Warden prison for ancient Darkspawn?
Corypheus sent people after Hawk. He actually got control of an entire Carta clan. Made them drink Darkspawn blood. Weird shit. We tracked the Carta to an old dwarven fort or something in the mountains. Of course, it turned out to be a trap. They needed Hawk's blood to open the locks holding Corypheus, and they drew us into the prison to get it.
There has to be a way to defeat Corypheus. We'll find it, don't worry.
I hope you're right. Maker's breath, what have I let loose?
Oh, no, it wasn't his fault.
You had nothing to do with this, Varric.
I was the one who led Hawk to Corypheus. If I hadn't tracked the Carta to that ruin. But you've got more important things to do than listen to me worry. Just let me know when you want something shot.
Yeah, I mean, sequence of events that you can't foretell, right? Oh, good, we got more.
Is this a bad time? I can come back.
No, it's all right. Bills are really not that engrossing. I've been meaning to come talk to you anyhow. I never officially joined the Inquisition. I don't know how to do this disciplehood thing. I'm a businessman. Never really followed a chosen one before.
I don't even know how to deal with all this. Just make something up. It'll be fine.
Oh, so we're
You're right.
saving the
Just
world
trying to
through
be joking.
bullshit now? All right, I can manage that.
You're a
You just
storyteller.
don't know what you are to the people
Should
out
be
there.
comfortable
The Herald
in
of
this.
Andraste is a symbol bigger than any of us.
What am I to you, then?
None of this shit makes any sense to me. Is this the end of the world? Did Andraste send you through the breach? I have no idea. You heard the crowd singing after Haven was attacked?
Whatever I am to Thedas, I'm still just an ordinary person.
So, just a regular person, like anybody else. Right. I should probably get back to work. Unless, you up for a game of Wicked Grace?
I don't think I'm an ordinary person. I think I mean, I don't know how that kind of came off weird, but I'll let it pass.
Looking for someone to talk your ear off? I think I can oblige.
I've read your Tale of the Champion. and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction. Go ahead.
Carry on.
Okay, so we got through the cycle here.
What can I do for you, Inquisitor?
I think
Can
so.
you tell me about
is
this
new.
Corypheus?
I'm not exactly an expert, but ask away and I'll answer what I can.
Okay.
How did you first encounter him?
A few years back, I was dealing with some trouble from a Carter clan that went rogue. They were sending assassins after the Hawk family. We tracked them to a rune in the Vimarks. It turned out to be a trap. Once you went far enough into the rune, there was a magic barrier that kept you from going back. The whole thing was a prison the Grey Wardens were using to hold what they thought was a powerful darkspawn.
Which was correct. Oops.
He looks like some sort of blighted
redundant.
creature, but he speaks. What is he exactly?
The Wardens who imprisoned him thought he was just a darkspawn. But you heard him ranting. He claims he's a Magister. One who assaulted the Golden City, what, more than 1,000 years ago? It seems crazy, but if he's telling the truth, he's one of the people who caused the blights.
We'll find out.
How did you first encounter him?
A few years back, I was dealing with some trouble from a Carter clan that went rogue. They were sending assassins after the Hawk family. We tracked... It turned out to be a trap. Once you went far enough into the rune, there was a magic barrier that kept... The whole thing was a prison the Grey Wardens were using to hold what they thought was a powerful darkspawn.
You and Hawk both said before he was supposed to be dead.
He was dead. We killed him. The only way for us to escape the prison Corypheus was trapped in was to go through him. We weren't going to just leave the door to his prison open behind us and hope he was dead. We made sure.
How did you first encounter
Why
him?
does this keep...
A few years back...
My God.
It turned...
I hate
The
these
whole
things.
thing was a
It's
prison
so
the Grey
like
Wardens
braced.
were using to hold what they thought was a powerful
Okay, I'm in a
darkspawn.
cycle. Let's get out of here.
No problem.
This makes me just want to rage exit these conversations when that crap happens. Okay, now we have the solace is here, but wait a minute.
What was this place? So much room for whatever was here.
Oh, see, this time he didn't come straight at me. Oh, I guess he's just going to the table. But we have this request for the fate as noted. A partner acquisition. Lady McNally has insured a contract. Okay, what is? Okay, that's the name of the books. Okay, let's see what's in here. Nothing yet, I guess. And let's go upstairs. Because I think this is probably a layered scenario here. And there we go. There we go, Dorian.
Brilliant, isn't it? One moment you're trying to restore order in a world gone mad. That should be enough for anyone to handle, yes? Then, out of nowhere, an archdemon appears and kicks you in the head. What? You thought this would be easy? No, I was just hoping you wouldn't crush our village like an anthill. Sorry about that. Archdemons like to crush, you know. Can't be helped. Am I speaking too quickly for you?
I was distracted, that's all.
Distracted? By my wit and charm? I have plenty of both.
How interesting to find someone so aware of his strengths.
I'm a man of many talents. What can I say? I always assumed the Elder One behind the Venatori was a Magister. But this is something else completely. In Tevinter, they say the Chantry's tales of Magisters starting the Blight are just that. Tales. But here we are. One of those very Magisters. A dark spawn.
Who does the Imperium say started the Blight?
I'm so curious.
You know how it is. Not us. They say Darkspawn were always there.
Who wrote that?
Magisters and the Blight aren't even related. Is that a surprise? No one wants to admit they shit the bed. But if Corypheus is one of the Magisters who entered the Black City and he's Darkspawn, what other explanation is there?
Why does that make you angry?
Because the Imperium is my home. I knew what I was taught couldn't be the whole truth, but I assumed there had to be a kernel of it, somewhere. But no, it was us all along. We destroyed the world.
You didn't do anything. Those men did. 1,000 years ago.
True, except that one of them is up and walking around right now. Not to mention I have idiot countrymen who would happily follow him down that path again. No one will thank me whatever happens. No one will thank you either. You know that, yes?
That's not why I'm doing this.
I knew there was something clever about you. All I know is this. Corypheus needs to be stopped. Men like him ruined my homeland. I won't stand by and let him ruin the world. Oh, and congratulations on that whole leading the Inquisition thing, by the way.
He's pretty cool.
Questions.
I'd like to
think-
ask you about Tevinter.
No, this is gonna go down a rabbit hole.
Anything
Stop.
specific?
Oh no, this is new. Okay, well,
Corypheus is a figure out of Tevinter history. He was a magister.
Yes, but that was a different time. The Imperium's power was at its peak then. The Civil War had ended. The Magisterium was united, its armies scooping up bits of Thedas like candy. The Magisters who entered the Black City. It was a demonstration of how exceptional Tevinter had become.
But who were they?
No one knows. There's no record of a Magister named Corypheus. All this happened 1400 years ago, before the Blight nearly wiped us out. There are no records. Today, people half believe it's all just a story. That's what I believed.
We have evidence the story is very much real.
But not who Corypheus is. If he even remembers. There used to be families who claimed some of those Magisters as their own. That stopped when the Chantry appeared. Then it was shameful, and the families distanced themselves from the tale. All we know is that some men and women entered the Black City looking for the old gods. What did they find? According to Corypheus, nothing. And only he could tell us more.
which narratively, that's what's called an unreliable narrator, because we're getting the information from Corypheus, so it's Corypheus' point of view and perspective, and we don't know what that we don't know how he defines that. So we don't know what it is that he was looking for. Was he looking for people? Like, we don't know how the world existed before the time of the scriptures that in this game that explain it, right? So there's a lot of other ifs that we have to.
That's all I wanted to know.
There's a perspective there that we have to break through.
I should go.
Okay, so let's. We're done with him. Let's go to. Oh shit, Fiona's here. There's a lot of people to talk. There might be enough people to talk. Whoa. Turn and read. Oh yeah. I'll talk to you because you don't have a name.
Oh, Inquisitor, greetings. I was recently
Oh, it's
appointed
you.
by Sister Liliana to keep her books in order.
Wait.
I'm so pleased to be here, helping out in my small way. Well, I should get back to work.
Okay then. I remember seeing a dude with hair like that. Where did I see a guy with this hair? I don't remember. Okay, maybe we will. Let's keep going.
Greetings, Inquisitor. That is your title now, yes? I should thank you. The way things ended in Redcliffe, you could have demanded anything you wished. Yet you chose to make us equal partners. I was not expecting that.
You rebelled for good reason.
I knew you, of all people, would understand. I've been a Grey Warden, Grand Enchanter, leader of a rebellion,
Really,
and
but-
now I am none of those things. Odd where fate takes you, as you're no doubt well aware.
You were once a Grey Warden.
Mine is an unusual circumstance, Inquisitor.
Okay.
Normally one is part of the Order until death. But long ago I found myself stripped of what made me a warden.
Okay, you guys are talking
They
about this.
tried to reinitiate
Right.
me, but nothing worked.
Something
Nor could
cleared.
They figure out how
something
it happened.
something
So
cleared
I
the
was
blight
sent
out
to
of her
the
or something.
Circle of Magi, the first warden ever
That's
to
not
be
in the
kicked
novel.
out. Quite the achievement.
You sound happy about it.
Becoming a warden seemed like a dream when I was first conscripted. Towards the end, however, my brothers and sisters, They felt I had somehow cheated death. I was glad to leave. It also made me unique in the Circle. I had an opportunity to do more than I ever could as a warden.
You mean you began the Mage Rebellion?
She didn't begin.
I pushed for our vote to free the Circles of Magi. But I cannot claim sole responsibility for what followed. Still, despite all the chaos, I would do it again. What happened had to happen.
You're not still the Grand Enchanter, then?
Any claim I had to the title ended along with the Circles of Magi, although some still call me by it. Perhaps the Circles will one day be resurrected. If so,
I hope so.
another will take the position. Until that time, I lead my fellow mages by default. I will do what I can for them.
Oh, cool. Hold on. Yeah.
You believe they'll recreate the Circle of Magi after all this?
It depends on who the next divine is, and what she offers. We can't go back to the way things were. But endless warfare benefits no
I think
one.
it's.
That is why I agreed to Justinia's conclave.
I think it's be the right or the left.
There
It's gonna
must be another solution.
be a scenario where it's gonna be Liliana or Cassandra put in that position.
I've been meaning to ask. How exactly did the Venatori take control in Redcliffe?
Mages constantly found their way to us while we were
Probably.
there. Stragglers, most of them strangers. I had no way of knowing some were actually Tevinter. They spread whispers, encouraged talk of an alliance, and we were desperate. I'm not proud of our choice, but we were certain Templars were coming. It could have ended far worse.
I'll leave you to it.
Before you go, Inquisitor, a question. In Redcliffe, after we left, did you perhaps speak with King Alistair? Considering who you are?
He wasn't in the mood to talk.
It's just that I knew his father, Marek, back when I was a warden.
It's funny, if you didn't read the book, then none of this would have been clear. It's maybe a lover, maybe you don't know.
You want me to smooth things over with him? Introduce you?
No, it's too late for that.
Oh, jeez.
I only wanted to know if he
Matter
was
right
happy.
there.
His father had such hopes for him.
Also,
Don't
here's a key
mind
too.
me,
When you ever see ellipses,
The concerns of an old woman. Nothing more.
trick in writing. If you ever see ... pay attention. That's another one of those things that, via analysis, you look for these little keys. Because it matters. The folly of General Not Sheridan. 4. What is this going on here? The folly. Oh. And so it was that the victory was absolute, and cheers were raised for General Not Sheridan. And so, buoyed by respect and admiration, Not Sheridan stood proud and removed the mask to state her true name. For had they not accepted her, had they not thrived by her leadership, and had they not become comrades despite station and mass and nonsense of protocol? And the answer was swift and bewildering, for they had not. And swiftly she was bundled away amid calls of impostor and spy and other terms she could not know, for she still did not know Orlais. I'm completely out of context there. I've missed
Greetings to you, Inquisitor. I am to serve as
something. Should
assistant
that story
to
start in
any
Orlais,
research
maybe? I don't
concerns.
know. You're
You'll
new.
find my skills are exceptional.
Okay.
I hope they prove useful.
Did I lose her? Did I lose Maeve by accident?
You're taking over the duties of Minave.
Yes. She said she was needed elsewhere and
phew.
that I
I
should
don't know
serve
what
the Inquisition to the best of my ability.
What is she doing?
I wasn't told.
Oh. No.
You were made tranquil.
Yes, I am tranquil. It was necessary
Well, she
due
had a
to a
cool-
willful
she had a bit
nature
of a
that
side
made
plot to
wielding
her.
magic a dangerous endeavor. I remember that being a difficult time, but I cannot remember why. My skills are well used in my current position.
How can you serve the Inquisition?
I am to aid in the research of all creatures
Perfect.
encountered in your efforts as leader of the Inquisition.
What makes you particularly qualified?
I remember being fond of animals. I don't remember why.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
Not optimal, given the facilities. Skyhold should be improved, or our efforts will continue to suffer.
As you
Working
were.
on it. I'm working on it.
Inquisitor.
I haven't talked to Liliana yet. I'm at the end of the I'm at the end of the episode. I have to stop. There's too much to do. Horror claws removed. There's too much to do. I need to keep going up. Liliana's up there. I have to sit on the throne still. I still have to talk to Solace, but I'm going to cut around that, so that's not really important. Is there anyone else on this? Did I miss anyone? I think so. Oh, there it is. Damage. Got a bunch of stuff kicking in still. Oh my god, so many good stuff. There's Liliana. Exam. I'm just talking about all of it now. I'm talking about too much maybe, but you guys know by now. Okay, examine. On the condition of your charges, dear Liliana, you'll be happy to learn that your friends are doing well. Schmooples the second is still unhappy about his meal plan and tries to get into the pantry. I know. I know what this is. I had to have a bolt installed, and now he whines constantly. The second. The two little ones are still a handful, but good news, I've managed to discourage Boulay from relieving herself on the silk rug Justinia gave you. Felcien, from 2 doors over, has been visiting almost every day to play with the nugs. She is quite delightful. And Snooples the second is fond of her. I suspect it is because she brings him sweets from her father's shop. I had to ask her governess to keep her from visiting the house, however, as someone tried to infiltrate it 2 nights ago, an agent of one of the Blanchards, hoping to uncover some of the Nightingale's secrets. I neutralized and interrogated him. His ability to withstand questioning was deplorable. Someone needs to talk to the Blanchards about their spies. All I had to do was push Schmooples II in his face and tell him that I hadn't fed the creature that day. Your pet played his part admirably. I received your orders and will depart from Ferelden as soon as possible. I have arranged for Gardner to take care of nug keeping Sparrow. That's fun. If there's a fast travel there, do you have a name? No. There's an oh god, I gotta keep going. I'm gonna keep going. We have note found in Skyhold's rookery. Saddler, Baron Plucky. I don't care how many missions he's flown or how many lives his actions have saved. He is a holy terror. Nearly pecked out my eye the last time I tried to attach a message to him. All the dramatic flapping and squawking caused his sister to come over. You should have seen her look when she snatched a letter from me. If I had a weaker constitution, it might have killed me on the spot. I suppose she thought I was trying to murder her prize raven. Oh. And all she had to do was coo at him, and the Baron hopped onto her shoulders, all sweetness, and nestled into her neck. How does she do it? All the birds like her. Is it blood magic? It's blood magic, isn't it? Weaver.
Sister Leliana will want access to the birds. Get the cages up here.
She's
Quickly.
Nightingale. Sparrow's messenger, so Sparrow's probably good. So I like the bird theme going on here. That's pretty cool. Okay. Also, there's a huge bird theme going on. Okay. A fine time to close a border. The news is dire. There are rumors that our warden brothers and sisters in Ferelden have all perished. Without the Grey Wardens, the blights will take Ferelden. Then it will undoubtedly spread. It will go north to Navarra and the marches. It will come west to Orlais. At the head will be the archdemon, and in its wake will come thousands upon thousands of darkspawn. We must be ready to stare squarely into the eyes of oblivion. Many of you have asked why we remain here when such threats are mounting in the east. The problem, you see, is not a new one for us. Politics. To say Ferelden and Orlais have been at odds is an understatement. These two are like dogs and cats. Oh, that's true, because they're the dog people, or they have like the dogs are like important to Feraldens, and the Orlesians have lions. That's an interesting reference there. Symbolically again, a lion. Anyways, okay, understatement. These two are like cats, dogs and cats. We wardens are Orlesian by address only, but that does not seem to matter to Ferelden's leaders. Word is that the king of Ferelden is dead. Word is that the king of Ferelden is dead, and his successor, Loghain MacTyr, decrees that no warden set foot in the country. MacTyr, a national hero who helped expel invading Orlesians forces from Ferelden, seems to have it out for our order too. Maybe he doubts our abilities. Maybe he is more foolish than the history books make him out to be. Oh, this before. This is why we must wait. Even as for Alden willingly welcomes its fate. This is before. Yeah. Oh, see, 9:30 was in my head. That's right. That's when the first game happens. This is the. Yeah. So they were told to wait, so they didn't come. Whoa. Shoot, that says something about Blackwall. Shoot, the one time I don't read the name. Literally, I read it every time. What did that say about? It's not gonna be in that. Oh shoot. Notes. Shoot, I don't know where to find this. Letters and notes. It's not in here, but I unlocked this now. So in your heart shall burn. Then the Maker said, to you, my second born, I grant this gift. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all consuming and never satisfied. From the fate I crafted you, into the fate you shall return each night in dreams, that you may remember me. Was this thing updated or something? I felt like I read that. In passages 1 through 6, his first children wanted for nothing, freed from need. They could only praise, but it was hollow, without cost. We, in all the physical, we created immutable, that our works would require struggle. A wonder created of wood and stone proves more intent than any wish of the fate. Here in the gentlest verses of the chant, we see how great his gift and how stern his punishment. To inspire, he gave us dreams, such that we would strive to make this limited world reflect his glory. Some look upon that nightly memory and feel only desire, and though owed his splendor, we, the second children, were meant to master the wants and wanes of emotion and childish pursuits, to honor at a distance and move ever forward. We failed in this, and the weakest of us did act as petulant infants, clawing back into his sight. Because we could not master our desire, because we acted on pitiful instinct, because we dared look upon our Maker to fulfill our need and not his, he is lost to us. He is merciful while stern, and we remember what we have lost. His second children can learn, grow, and change. If we cannot, then we are not better and no worse than his first children. Challenge by change. Oh shoot, okay, so I can't. Dang it. Oh, groups for Grey Wardens. This is too late in the episode for me to be unlocking new things, and I can't tell what's there, so I'm going to leave that alone. I'll check it in post. I'm fairly certain that's probably important for me to, because then it could put my ideas into the hole, if that's actually from. He came from Orlais, right? He doesn't sound like an Orlesian though. Man, there's so many things. Anyways, doesn't matter. I gotta think that through. Yeah, I'm just gonna. That'll be longer. What the? I'm not Cullen. I saw this fur. What happened here?
The names of those we lost. You must blame me for this.
Was that a? Oh yeah, it was in a vial. I was like, it could have been a phylactery. No, it was probably just a list of names in a vial or something.
We all saw who attacked us. We know exactly who to blame.
I keep wondering if I could have done something different. When the first of my lookouts went missing, I pulled the rest back, awaiting more information. If they'd stayed in the field, they could have bought us more time. I was afraid to lose my agents. And instead, we lost Haven.
More likely they would have stayed out there, died, and we would have lost Haven anyway.
You don't know that. Their lives could have bought Haven a small chance. My people know their duty. They know the risks. They understand that the Inquisition may call upon them to give their lives.
True. They're our soldiers. They'll do what we need them to.
If Corypheus is cold, I must be cold.
Oh, no.
War demands sacrifices of us all.
Alright, that's fine. Leave it at that.
Yes?
So that's fine. Alright, let's...
The Divine's death hit you hard. How have you been feeling?
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in the Haven.
Yes.
I am much better now.
Good.
Justinia was such a dear friend, and there were so many things going wrong.
Sometimes it's best to talk these things out.
I was there when the hero Ferelden defeated the Archdemon. We won the day, and I thought the Maker smiled on me. When the Divine requested my help, I went to her. I owed her that much. I sacrificed so much to do the Maker's work. But now, Justinia is dead. I was angry. I felt betrayed. But I shouldn't have let my emotions get the better of me. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You were grieving and upset. I understand.
Thank you. Now enough of this. Let us think more pleasant thoughts.
Anything I should know?
It
Might be
seems
the
that
kindest
Legion
Somni I've
army
ever
is
played,
awaiting
but
our
it's
next
just
move. Some of the generals are sympathetic to our cause.
it's the way the game
Others
started.
are still suspicious. Our actions are under a great deal of scrutiny.
Anything I should know?
Oh,
I've agents stationed by the ruins of Haven should Corypheus or his lackeys return. So far nothing, and the breach has been quiet for some time. There is something at least.
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the
oh,
moment.
okay, there we go. So we're gonna go through cycles here.
I'll leave
Carry
you to
on.
your work.
Okay, that's thorough. That's thorough. I could probably keep talking to her, but you know, wait, did I not? What? On condition of your charges, dear Liliana, we'll be happy to learn that your friends are doing well. What the hell? Oh, it stayed active? Oh, so the one I wanted to reclick. Oh, maybe I can. Hold on. Can I reclick this one? Or is it, no, this one became an entry somewhere. Shoot. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap this. Can I go through here? No. Anyways, Ravens. Yes. I'll just say I 100% anticipate Morgan making an appearance. It's going to be an important part of the plot. Obviously Flemeth, because she's been in the other two games. So just think narratively they'll do something. She's important. She's extremely important in this game. Not important as in she's going to have a huge. I mean, in every game, Flemeth has appeared. She's done something that's been super, like it's been important, and I think it's not going to change this game. She'll appear at some point, and it'll be this vital. There's like plot, there's like beats where this could happen. It'll happen if I had to guess. If it didn't happen in the first act, because she would have been because in the first game she was the catalyst from Act 1 to Act 2. She was sort of the. She gives you some information that sets you off on the journey, and that's sort of that's your kickoff sort of thing. Right? Yeah, it was. That felt like a transition from Act 1 to Act 2. Because she drops the information, then you kind of go on your quest, and you start doing the exploring stuff, you start building relationships. That's all part of the beginning of Act 2, which is what this is right now. In the second game, though, she doesn't appear at the beginning, but then she appears at this catalytic point in Act 2 to Act. It's like literally it was in the middle of Act 2, like, because she appears on. She wasn't a big. It was mysterious and stuff, but it wasn't. I don't remember having a super vital. It's just at that point you realize she didn't die, though. That was an important discovery about her, because you don't know what Flemeth is. I have an idea. I've had an idea since the first game, and I think that theme is going to come up in this game. Because of what I've talked about, the theory of the two worlds, one's being one, then being split, and there's like the gods that existed for the Avar and the elves, and all of that matters, and it's going to come into play. Okay, so I got to talk to Solace, and let's just do it. Let's just together. I'll talk about some stuff here too.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
Actually, I'm going to skip
Cassandra
this.
and Varric seem more familiar with their adversary.
That's new, actually, right there. I do.
You've given me good counsel before. I could use some now.
Let's see what he's
My
saying about
apologies,
this.
Inquisitor. My poor manners shame me. I claim no secret wisdom, but I will guess as best I can.
Unreliable narrator. I'll put it down. How would he know what the hell he's going to do next, Tom?
I'd like to know more about the orb he carries.
As I said, that must be the means by which he created the breach. I suspect the blast that destroyed the Conclave was more accident than anything. The result of unlocking power that had sought release for ages. What I cannot understand is how he managed to survive such an explosion.
You said that you believe the orb is elven.
I never would have believed a Devinter mage could unlock such a powerful relic. It clearly enhances his abilities. giving him access to power he should never have known.
Like the power to
From
control
a
the
time
archdemon.
before.
Indirectly, one assumes. Nothing in any law connects my people to the old god dragons who became archdemons.
What do you think Corypheus will do next?
You shamed him when you destroyed Haven. Spoiled his glorious victory. It would be worse to acknowledge that you had done so. He must continue on his course or show weakness. He will return to his plans to throw Olay into chaos, and then conquer it for Devinter.
You're sure that's what he'll do?
As certain as is possible. Assuming I can plausibly predict a man who seeks to rise to godhood.
And can you?
The key is understanding this. No real god need prove himself. Anyone who tries is mad or lying. His deception will undo him, as it has done countless
That was
fools
an important
before.
line.
What can you tell me about the source of Corypheus's power?
According to the law, the ancient Magistars of Devinter received guidance from the old gods. Corypheus commands a false archdemon, a corrupted old god. This suggests he no longer sees himself as their minion. Some of his unique power comes from the corruption of the Blight. The rest may come from the orb he carries.
I'm interested in what you told me of yourself and your studies. If you have time, I'd like to hear more.
You continue to surprise me. All right, let us talk. Preferably somewhere more interesting than this.
Real quick, so like the god, like so in a time before where the gods, like where the council and stuff like that, when you think about like what I explained about the ideas, right? The reality, the ideas, and then the ideals, the thing that creates it. Anyways, so is that in that time where all of that was sort of on the same plane, those gods could have been manifestations of collective ideas. So if enough people believe, kind of like how the Fade works, it's like the what exists in the Fade is because it's a collective of dreams that have come together and formed these things based on that collective. And so why couldn't entities exist like almost like super spirits, like spirits that are composed of all the thoughts coming? So all of the gods, like if you think about Roman, Greeks, so all of those, if you think about those as the elven entities, the elven, like all these other things, those things could have been collective ideas that formed this thing, kind of like what a demon becomes when it has like it's corrupted or it's like becomes pride. Those could have been like existed as the gods, as the pantheons. That's kind of, I'll just put that one out there too. This episode I'm dumping a lot of just the stuff I was talking about, but that's,
Why here?
you guys have asked for it, so
Haven is familiar.
oh, check
It
this
will
out.
always be important to you.
So you might have thought you
We
came
talked
back,
about
but then the
that
roof
already.
wasn't burned. I noticed it in repose. Should have caught that. I should have caught that right away. It's not burnt down. Then I heard people talking in here, but it didn't happen this time.
I sat beside you while you
But
slept,
that creeped me out, and I was like,
studying the anchor.
I thought maybe that was Fade based. I think I said thank you. I'm gonna try to see
I'm
if
glad
there's
someone was
anything.
watching over me.
You were a mystery. You still are. I ran every test I could imagine. Searched the Fade, yet found nothing. Cassandra suspected duplicity. She threatened to have me executed as an apostate if I didn't produce results.
She was stressed out.
I would never have agreed to that.
You were in no position to argue. You were never going to wake up? How could you? A mortal sent physically through the Fade. I was frustrated, frightened. The spirits I might have consulted had been driven away by the breach. Although I wished to help, I had no faith in Cassandra, or she in me. I was ready to flee.
But you stayed.
I did. I told myself,
And then this
one
was
more
closed,
attempt
so
to
that
seal
should
the
have been the
rifts.
second side. It'll make sense
I
now.
tried and failed.
Made sense in post, man.
No ordinary magic would affect them. I watched the rifts expand and
ordinary
grow,
magic.
resigned myself to flee, and then... It seems you hold the key to our salvation. You had sealed it with a gesture. And right then, I felt the whole world change.
I don't remember. Then you randomly hear people. I think I said this one, but I'm gonna change it. It's either I'm gonna say this mattered to you, maybe. I'm glad you stayed. No, I wanna.
It was that impressive to see me awake?
You had walked in the Fade. I have
Did I
explored the
say that?
Fade more than anyone alive.
I feel like that's the
But even
response
I
got.
can only visit in dreams. But you might have been able to visit me here while awake.
That's sort of
What
an
do you
important
mean?
line.
Where do you think we were?
This isn't real.
That's a matter of debate.
And then that's an important line.
Probably best discussed
He's
after you-
definitely setting up the theme of
Wake
the
up.
game of this the theme the theme I guess, like the idea of that. They're gonna get into that, the lore. This whole game is about analyzing. This whole game is gonna be about flipping everything we know in their heads, like bringing to bear the fact that everything we know as players has been through the lens of the Chantry, and so, yeah. We're only at the start. We're like maybe a quarter way through the actual story, but there's probably tons of campaign content you can play because of all of the exploring and crafting and all that stuff. But the story right now, we're definitely cutting into Act 2. So I'm gonna wrap this up here. You know the drill. I'm gonna dress myself. I'm gonna take the notes here. I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna go back downstairs to the throne room. When we come back, we will be in the throne room. And I'm going to kick some of that stuff off, do the maps, and then I think it's exploring time. This thing is thorough. So at this point, oh, and I have to gear up Cole, level him. That'll take a little bit of time. Codexes. So next episode, maybe a bit more cleanup. We'll see. We'll make some decisions as we go. I always sort of change my mind after I try to make a plan so I can come back and have a plan, but I tend to go off the rails because this thing throws a bunch of things at me. In any case, oh right, I have to talk to everyone after this thing. This thing has changed. I have to do a cycle of everyone again. That's the next episode. I'm gonna cycle everyone again. Do the war table. I gotta level Cole. I got to then and then we'll codexes, and then we'll take off. We'll explore some new map, one of the small ones. Next episode. Catch you there. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire, everybody. Peace.